It is recording. Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scoreboard Guy Network here on 92.3 KICK out of Springfield, Missouri, home of the Royals, and to the Central Bank of the Ozarks High School Sports Show. Certainly glad that you have tuned in. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. And we welcome to the Scoreboard Guy Network for the first time 3 new guests, 2 coaches, and from KSN in Joplin, Sports Director Bailey Harbit. Bailey, here. Now, we've got this. This is our second take. Do you ever have to do anything in 2 takes?
I can't even begin to tell you the number of times I've done full interviews with people and then had to tell them that I forgot to press the record button or something was wrong with the microphone. So, yeah, no, you're fine. I've done it countless times at this point.
Well, now everybody knows the questions, so maybe I need to change them. But no, we'll start off with head coach from Diamond, Kelsey Parrish, and I thank you so much for being available again, because Linda would probably drive to Bolivar and scold me if I didn't get this second take in here. But Coach, you've had a tremendous season. You're 19-2 on the season. Tell us a little bit about your team, and at what point during the season you felt like you kind of would make a run after losing all of the 2019 season.
We are, like you said, 19-2. We've been pretty solid from the start. We took a hard loss to Riverton early, and then I think we let our nerves get the best of us and didn't play very well against Pleasant Hope and lost our conference championship. So 2 hard losses, but learned a lot from them and fought some good as well this season.
So you don't win your college or your high school conference championship, and you're in the Final Four. I mean, that sounds a little bit like what Lamar went through in football for several years. They won the state championship, couldn't win the conference.
Yeah, it was a tough loss, but Pleasant Hope played a really well game, and got to hand it to them.
Now you've been there at Diamond 8 years. You're a Diamond graduate. Tell us about what it's like to go back home and take over the reins of a program that you had a lot of success in.
There's just really no better feeling. It's pretty awesome to have the community backing and, to know the roots of your program and be part of that. I think it just makes it more special. So I'm very honored to still be part of it.
And Coach Parrish, tell us, about your team. And I understand you just got the one senior, your center fielder, but tell us about your team and who's going to be on the mound tonight, or I'm sorry, in the circle tonight, if that's something you want to give away to Coach Howard.
I already know.
Yeah, predict my lineup and everything. So there's no secrets. I have a lone senior, Grace Irwin. She'll be center fielder tonight. And then Madison Bentley will be throwing for us in the circle. She's pretty solid pitcher, but again, College Heights has a solid pitcher as well. It'll be a good battle between them two. And then I have a couple other juniors, Lexi Bridges and Leslie Watson, that are going to be helping us out today. And then the rest of my team's pretty young, but solid. So we're excited.
As you look back at this season, you mentioned the 2 losses. Who has really kind of played well? Talk about some of your leaders on the team that have really kind of stepped up and taken that leadership role, because you only have the one senior, and maybe that's your leader.
Yeah, Grace does a great job of leading us. She's very motivating and positive, and she keeps the team up. I would definitely say Madison Bentley is another one of our leaders. She does a really well job, obviously, on defense, and offensively, she's our 4-hole. So she's a worker, and she's passed that on to a lot of our underclassmen. And then Lexi Bridges is definitely another one of our leaders. Her freshman year was a shortstop, never been a shortstop, but athletic kid. And so she got to be shortstop. And then we have a sophomore that stepped up to play shortstop this year, but I needed a first baseman. And I went to her at the beginning of the season, and she's like, whatever I need, coach, whatever you need. So definitely have 3 solid leaders on the team.
And, Coach Howard's on here as well, but you guys were scheduled to play during the regular season. You did get a few innings in. Talk about that from your standpoint, about that matchup that went maybe 4 innings earlier this year.
Man, I don't want to overspeak for Coach Howard, but it was kind of an intense game. I think both teams came out that day excited to try to get it in. We knew the weather was coming, and we both were kind of wanting to prove ourselves, I think, a little bit. We were both starting to get talked about, and both of the pitchers, were getting recognized. And so I think it was a battle of, trying to prove ourselves, and 0-0 in the top of the fourth. So it'll be a fun ending tonight, either way.
Coach Howard, what were your impressions of that game back that 4-inning contest?
Exactly what she said. I mean, it really was. It's kind of a pitcher's duel. I think both teams were undefeated coming into that contest, and so, like she said, both pitchers were starting to get talked about, getting some recognition. I know they were excited. They were chanting, and they're always, always chanting and loud and motivated. And so, it was a good game at that point. We knew the weather was coming in again. Like she said, we had already moved the game up earlier in the day to try to get it in, because that was definitely one of the games we wanted to play. It's just unfortunate that it came a little bit sooner than we wanted it to come. And there was no way we'd be able to finish it. But we took a lot from that game, and hopefully we can use that as a tool for tonight.
And Coach Howard, kind of same question there. Talk a little bit about your team, break it down. Coach Parrish is just with the one senior. You guys may be battling with the Diamond Wildcats for another season. We'll kind of break your team down as well.
Okay. We really didn't know what I was getting into coming into this year. I know that a couple years ago they had only won 3 games. But I knew I had some talent coming up, and so I decided to take the job on that. The talent has really, played itself this year. Got some dynamic pieces from the group that had that through those 3 wins. We have several seniors. We have 5 on our team. 3 play all the time. And those are the leaders, Lane Jackson at first base, Avery Good at second base, and Sarah Painter behind the plate. Our catcher. Those are 3 dynamic leaders, and they've done a really good job all year long. We don't have any juniors at all. The rest of our team are freshmen and sophomores. Sophomores, we have Jaylee Johnson. She's our leadoff. She's shortstop. She's been a tremendous asset all year long, a track star, very fast on the base paths. She does a really good job for us. Addie Lawrence is our center fielder. She's coming on strong here in the last part of the season, and she's doing a great job, our best defender out there in the outfield. And we have our other sophomore is Aaliyah Perez. She's a Macaulay Catholic girl. She plays right field. She does a really good job out there. She's batting 350-ish right around right now, and so she missed part of the season. That was one of the girls that missed that game. We had 2 starters missing in that game that we played them, but that was one of them. And then Lauren Ukena, she plays third base. She's a great role player. Does a good job on the base paths. And then the rest of them are freshmen. Of course, we got Maddie. I don't know what I'd be here forever if I talked about all the good things she's done this year. She's a tremendous asset. A girl I've known for a long time, used to be on my travel ball team. Has worked tremendously hard to get to where she's at. And so she's definitely a reason why we're in the position we're at. Chloe Williamson, she's my stepdaughter. She's there in left field. There was another girl that was gone that game, but she's leading our team in average this year and has done a great job her freshman year of getting in there and really making things happen. That's basically my team. I don't think I've left anybody out. I think I covered everybody. Sorry, I went a little long.
That's all right. And Bailey Harbert from KSNF and KOD, the sports director. This game tonight, Bailey's going to be played in Sarcoxie. It's a little bit further away than College Heights, and Diamond is probably from you. But what are you guys going to try and do tonight? Yeah,
I mean, this is a game that we've been looking forward to for quite a while. I mean, once we knew that these two teams were going to face each other, you know, Jake and I had sort of said, we've got to find some way to get somebody out to this game. We're a little understaffed right now with Raina being on the morning show, but I mean, we knew that we had to kind of make this happen. I mean, in a perfect world, both teams would somehow win this game and we get to talk about them more, but you know, unfortunately someone does have to lose. But I mean, from a sports perspective, like from my standpoint, like we're the winners, because either way, this game's going to be fantastic. And, you know, it's exciting to be able to talk about it tonight. And I'm really looking forward to it. You know, obviously you can't play favorites. Like I said, in a perfect world, everyone would win. But I mean, I think it's going to end up being a really good game, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Now, Bailey, you might just take a few minutes. You know, I don't know if Coach Howard or Coach Parrish, how familiar they are with your background. You grew up in the area. You go to KOMU at Mizzou. You go to Wisconsin. Come back, kind of fill them in and fill the watchers in on how you got back to Joplin.
Yeah. So like you said, I went up and spent a few years in Wisconsin, worked in Wausau, right in the middle of the state, got to do some really cool stuff there. But always knew that I wasn't going to stay there. So started looking for jobs after I spent 3 years there, and just happened to come across the KSN job, and at the time it was a KODE weekend anchor job. That's the one I applied for. And the news director called me up and said, hey, we want to interview you for the sports director job. And I said, sure, I guess. I didn't really feel that I was qualified at that point. I'd only been doing sports, you know, professionally for 2 years, but it worked out well. I was offered the job and couldn't really say no to a chance to come home and you know, work for a station that I used to watch growing up. I used to watch Eric Kinnett when I was in high school. Always was praying that we would, you know, Nevada would be on the highlights, but I get it. Now that I'm in that position, it's a bit of a drive to get to Nevada. But yeah, so now I'm back home. I've been here for about 2 years now, so it's been good.
Coach Howard and Coach Parrish, we're visiting with here on the Scoreboard Guide Network, and this game will be played at Sircoxie. Number one, who's closer to Sircoxie? Is it College Heights maybe closer? Is that the shortest drive?
No, I think they're closer. It's still pretty close, but I think they're just a little bit closer than we are.
Yeah, and kind of let us know, you know, that game I think originally was supposed to be played at Diamond, and Coach Parrish, that game was moved for what reasons?
So our field was a little bit short and left. I think we were like 12 foot short. So we moved it to Sircoxie to make sure that everything was perfect. They have a pretty nice facility, and they were nice enough to let us borrow it.
All right, Coach Parrish, what do you have to do tonight to win this contest? What does your team have to do well?
Well, Maddie, I think we're very confident that she'll do a good job in the circle. Defensively, that we just got to back her up and then support her offensively, and be disciplined in the box off of the other Maddie, and just do our jobs well.
Coach Howard, what does College Heights has to do well tonight?
We have to play a good ball game. Diamond's a really good club. We have to have the same approach, I think, that we had going into the district tournament. We beat a couple really good clubs over there. And we were starting to hit the ball really well. And so I think if we are able to hit the ball, put it in play, get on the base paths and utilize some speed to be able to manufacture some runs, I think that that's going to be our biggest asset. We know Maddie's going to pitch well. They got some great hitters over there. So she's really going to have to be on point. So if those things happen, it's definitely going to give us a chance.
Both communities, I'm quite confident are going to travel pretty well tonight. Do you know of any restrictions that they have with regards to mask or, kind of let folks know? I don't know of anything that's going on in that area, but I'm assuming it will just be as normal, I would think.
The only thing I know is that they have to buy tickets online on Misha. So they can't just show up and try to pay at the gate, because they won't be allowed in. Anytime we're in the postseason, that they have to go through Misha to buy tickets online. But that's the only restriction that I know of.
And Bailey, you mentioned Bailey Harbert from KSN. Joplin, sports director. Bailey, you mentioned this has kind of been something you've kind of looked forward to all season. The game got rained out earlier, and both these teams you look at maybe weren't thought of as I mean, obviously they had not a great opportunity to win their districts, but I think College Heights maybe even was a 3 seed going in there at Mount Vernon. It's got to be special for that area to get this game.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those best case scenarios for us because it's 2 local teams, that have played really well this season. And honestly, I thought College Heights was kind of seated low when they got the 3 seed in their district. I was kind of surprised. And I was pretty stoked when y'all beat El Dorado Springs, to be honest with you. They were our rivals in high school. So, or when they lost rather. But yeah, no, this is kind of a best case scenario for us. Exciting to see these 2 teams and, being like smaller schools, we tend to not show them as much love. And, being from a small school, I get that. So it's exciting to be able to highlight those 2 teams, since they're doing so well. And yeah, I know, like I said, really looking forward to it.
Well, and I think both coaches here beat my alma mater, Mount Vernon, so they're lucky they even got on the network.
No, it's no joke. I get it. They're a good team too.
Well, Coach Howard and Coach Parrish, many thanks. And again, I apologize. I've been watching religiously this little recording light, so I know it's recording this time. But I appreciate you guys making yourselves available. And I know, Coach Howard, you've got a class coming up, and Coach Parrish has got a bus to catch. But I really appreciate you guys being generous with your time.
Thank you for having us and for the coverage.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much.
And Bailey Harbit, it was great to finally get connected with you. I know your dad and myself have talked several times, and when we visited a couple times, but to be able to have this opportunity and look forward to doing it again real soon here as we go through here at the Scoreboard Guy Network, soon to be newly named. Once we get everything taken care of with regards to our LLCs and our attorneys and our copyrights, we'll have a new branding coming out here after 16 years as the Scoreboard Guy. But I really appreciate you guys coming on here in episode 8 of the network. Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
All right, Bailey, we'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. Good luck, coaches.
Thank you.
All right. You're listening to the Central Bank of the Ozarks High School Sports Show here on 92.3 KICK, home of the Kansas City Royals. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be right back after these messages.